So when is a server not a server? Well, it would happen to be when the server doesn't have server parts in it. I'd say to yourself, how is that possible? Custom built servers, how that's possible. Let's take a look at this bad boy and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, right here we've got a server, a rack mount server. As you can see, this would be a 2U. I believe it's a 2U rack mount server. Pulled this out of a client's pile of garbage, computer garbage. As you can see, it is a super micro case. So this is a custom case. It's got a blank plate there for what appears to be a floppy drive, although it's metal. This looks like a slot for a laptop style CD-ROM. Probably this is for a tape backup or some other thing, maybe a front USB panel. As you can see, it's a typical looking server, despite the fact that it's a super micro case. We have our hot swap removable hard drives here, of which is 3 delicious terabytes worth right there. And there are 4 of these drives, and as you might want to take a note of that, they're fairly clean actually. A little dust on them, not really a whole lot. We've got 4 of them in this bad boy. All crap gates. These were manufactured, let me see here, 1 of 15. Camera would focus, there we go. So we've got 12 terabytes of storage in this box, and these bottom ones are just empty. So I got 2 more over here. So you might say, okay, well that's pretty typical, right? You got SATA hard drives, nothing too fancy. Could be SAS drives, but we'll go ahead and pop that cover off here, and we'll show you what turns this into not a server. But I'm going to give you a peek at the back side here and show you, see if you can kind of guess. You can tell from that I/O shield right there, something not quite usual about this. And there's a video card in this thing. Yes, that's right, there is a video card in this thing. So, this also has a Windows 7 sticker on it. Whoa. Now that is most definitely not server hardware right there. It's a Gigabyte motherboard. You can tell from the ultra durable label right there. Go ahead and remove this cover. And there we go. We've got a M.2 slot down there. We've got 16 gig of DDR3 RAM in this thing. I've already actually checked the specs on this thing by booting it up. This motherboard is remarkably clean as well. I see no dust even on the fan itself. It's remarkably clean. Like that this thing had never actually even been used. Now, I believe it had been used, but whether or not it had been used after this motherboard had been put in here, I don't know. Kind of thinking this had been upgraded at some point, but I could be wrong. It may have actually been built and not even used. 650 watt power supply, which is definitely pretty adequate for something like this. And we also have something over here, an SSD drive. Yeah, look at that. That's kind of unique for a server, right? So what I looked at, booted this up, looked at the specs in the motherboard BIOS. This is a 4790S i7 processor. That's not the K, but it is an i7 nonetheless. And I'm not exactly sure what video card is in it. I haven't gotten that far yet. Let me see if I can see anything on the stickers here. I can't see anything that stands out. Is it saying NVIDIA or ATI? I may see something in the video when I render this. The A and the part number right there might mean AMD Radeon. It kind of has a Radeon look to it. But yeah, this is definitely not server hardware. Although it does have a RAID card in it, an Adaptec RAID controller in it. This is one of those SAS/SATA controllers. This depends on the cables that you're using. And obviously it was meant to have a, looks like it's got some cache on it down there. And it looks like it was, this is either a cache upgrade or maybe it's another port extension for more SAS or SATA hard drives. Nonetheless, we've got the cables running over here. This back plane here where the hard drives go in. It looks to me like this was built for this motherboard, given the way that the cables are zip tied there. Looks to me like this was built into this chassis. If that is the case, it has been on for a little bit. There is some dust on these fans right here. If the camera would care to focus, there we go. There's a very small hint of dust right there. But really, frankly, there's no dust on this drive here. There's a little bit right here from having that grill open on it, but I don't know. I think this thing was actually upgraded. But this motherboard, like I said, doesn't look like it has any dust on it at all. So what's going to happen is this is going to probably become my new video editing box. Although I don't know if it's going to remain in this case. I may go ahead and put it in my big Thermaltake glass case that I have my system, my AMD FX 8350 in right now. I do like the 12 terabytes of storage and RAID. I don't know what configuration of RAID this is. Probably RAID 5 given the 4 hard drives, but that would still be nice. I'd really like to have a RAID set up for my video editing for the storage part of it, so that I don't lose videos again. Got the SSD right there. So yeah, just be a quick video on this here. Show you when a server is not a server. Quite remarkable, the hardware. When I popped this open, I was pleasantly surprised. Alright everybody, thank you very much for watching. That is a Z97 motherboard in case you are wondering. Alright guys, we'll see y'all later. Wayback Tech channel. I'm going to probably do a video of something related to this. Gutting it out. Or maybe I'll just leave it the way it is. It is awfully loud, those fans, but could always take those out. Maybe just leave one in there, I don't know. Anyway, peace out everybody. We'll see you again in a future video. Bye-bye.